Monsters, humans, what's the difference? Each and all can be joined together, and each and all can be respected and enjoyed in their own unique ways, which is usually for monsters the case, especially with the case of Hotel Transylvania that we reviewed last year. This year, however, it's going to be something a little bit more special. The real true love of a man and a monster coming together to form something even more magical that nobody could ask for, yet would become the hope to finally unite humans and monsters together. And this little hope, little bundle of joy, will end up changing the world in a way that he would never have expected possible. To join together every single person on the planet, but not just humans and monsters, but perhaps a father and his monster as well. Greetings, ghouls and goblins. I'm the Universe and I'm Mighty Nerdy, and welcome back to another Lazyween installment. Last year, during October, we took a look at Hotel Transylvania, which we're doing again here with Hotel Transylvania 2. It is exceptional that Hotel Transylvania 2 can be seen as one of the best movie sequels of all time. Very similar to how people talk about The Dark Knight more than Batman Begins, or Spider-Man 2 more so than Spider-Man. And this is no exception, as I believe that Hotel Transylvania 2 is better than the original, but that's just me. Has a better story, unique cast of characters, and well, really go to show you just how far love between man and monster can really become. This was exceptional by both Jendy Tartakovsky and also Adam Sandler, basically becoming iconic Halloween family pictures for everybody, and it is a tradition for me to watch these every single October, and truthfully, I could watch all three of these movies combined. Yes, I know that there's a fourth, I just haven't seen it yet, but I could watch all four movies combined and just fall in love with this movie again and again and again, which makes it so unique and special. So, we are going to take a look back into Hotel Transylvania with Hotel Transylvania 2. So, what exactly changes in this sequel? A lot, but we'll get into that as we go on. Anyway, we'll travel back to Hotel Transylvania 2 for a vacation and see just what changes for the Lord Dracula this time around. I love that we open up to Mavis's and Johnny's wedding. It's exceptional that we got to this far and that we got to this point, and this is just one amazing scene. However, while flying around in bat form at night, Mavis reveals something to her father that she's been keeping a secret that only her and Johnny know about, but she finally tells her father. She reveals to her father that she is pregnant with his grandchild, and Dracula could be none the more happier. Well, at least at first Dracula could be none the more happier. As Dracula kind of becomes a possessive father with that he's obsessed with her child becoming a vampire, to the point where he kind of pushes his limits a bit. But finally, little Dennis, or little Denisovich, is finally born, and I have to say I fell in love with this little boy immediately. Denisovich is probably one of the cutest kids you ever be put in the screen, and that is just simply, to put in point, amazing. And I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. It probably is one of the most amazing things to have ever been put to screen. He is just one enjoyable little kid, and he really impacts the film in the best of ways. You never get sick and tired of him. You never get annoyed with him. You just know that he just is around to be this big ball of energy and this big ball of adorableness. But for something like Hotel Transylvania, which the first film definitely wanted to impact families, I think involving Dennis or Denisovich in this film really made the impact later on all the more worthwhile. Which for Dennis, he seems to really get along with the monsters quite well, but Mavis is still skeptical of him living well in Transylvania. So on a honeymoon, or a date with Johnny, she goes back to see where he lives and sees that's an appropriate place for Dennis. Meanwhile, Dracula takes Denisovich on vampire training. which of course does not go as planned as he keeps wondering, how in the world that he could turn Dennis into, a vampire. But Dennis already looked up to somebody. For you see, little Dennis does have big aspirations for what he wants to be. And what does little Dennis want to be, you might ask? Well, why don't we ask him who he looks up to?
He climbs walls and wears a cape.
Oh, really? And who is this very cool guy?
Batman! What are you doing?
I'm Batman, Ing. I'm Batman. I'm awesome. I got a 9-pack.
But Dracula forgets that the entire world around him has changed, so trying to teach Denisovich what happened in the past isn't going to work because the past is no longer the past. And Dracula is annoyed by this fact only because he's afraid of Dennis not becoming a vampire. We'll come back to this in just a bit, but Dracula has his own share of fears. But you can tell how much that Dracula loves Dennis. He means the world to him. He's his little buddy, and he would do anything to protect him no matter what. But at times it seems like Dracula is really pushing his boundaries and pushing his limits with turning Dennis into a vampire. For his own good reasons, of course, but even still. But I love Adam Sandler and Asher together because, oh my god, they have such a great, wonderful, and terrific chemistry that really makes you think that they are grandfather-grandson. But of course, when Mavis ends up finding out what Dracula's been doing, as you might have well expect, she is not happy with her father, and she's not happy by the video that she had found. Which of course, Mavis breaks to Dracula the bad news. They are moving. They're gonna be moving where Johnny lives because Dracula has been pushing his boundaries too much with Dennis. But that is until Mavis invited Dracula's father, Vlad, to the party. And of course, if Dracula knows his father, he's gonna even push the boundaries worse. Mel Brooks is exceptional in this role, and my god was he hilarious and also every amount of charming that you could ask for such a great actor. But because Vlad is coming, Johnny and Dracula make a plan. They make a plan to have a costume party, so that way there, hopefully that Vlad doesn't know anyone's a human. But even Vlad is excited to come to the party, not because of anything that's outside of the world or that he wants to destroy humans, but because he thinks that little Denisovich should know his great vampire.
Just wait outside for me. This is family stuff. You'll only get in the way. I just want to meet the little fanger. You should know his great vampire. Is what?
And because Vlad is the oldest monster there, he's not impressed by the other monsters around, and in fact he made fun of Johnny and his costume a lot. But when Vlad notices that Dennis hasn't had his veins grown in yet, he's not upset, but he's also intrigued because he knows of a way to help Dennis with his teeth. Which leads into Dennis being terrified of what's happening, especially for his own grandfather to transform his favorite mascot, or a character on TV, into a horrifying character.
Well, that's terrifying.
As after everything that happened, Dennis of course runs away, especially seeing his favorite TV icon be turned into something horrifying, as Dracula revealed the truth.
My last attempt to make the boy a vampire so you'd stay.
By ruining his favorite thing? How could you do that?
I'd be the first to say that Dracula's intentions were honestly pure. He really wanted to do his best to make Dennis a vampire, but only so Mavis would stay with him because he's afraid of losing her, similar to how he lost his wife several years ago. And the pain is still there with him, and whether or not it goes away is never truly quite certain. And yeah, especially as someone who witnessed a person that did lose their wife just not too long ago, yeah, I can truly completely understand this pain of, going through, your life and not wanting to lose anyone else, especially those close to you, especially your daughter. And especially some single parents out there that probably lost a loved one. You're probably gonna think that it's the same way with you guys as well too. But him also wanting Dennis to become a vampire so he would stay basically means that this was his last attempt to make Mavis stay because he didn't want her to move and or lose her. Because to Dracula, Mavis is his life. And now since Dennis was involved in it, it makes him want them in his life even more, which makes the impact all the more greater until he says and reverses what he did, until he says this to his own father.
Grandson is the sweetest, kindest, most special boy I've ever met. And if you can't give him the love he deserves because he's half human, then you're the fool.
As Vlad's vampire bat named Bella, creative name there, captured Dennis and also Winnie, so that way there he can use them against Dracula and of course the man who failed him. That is until Bella hurts Winnie, and which in this case makes Dennis' veins finally pop out, as he'd hurt the person most important to Dennis, his lover. Which of course ends in the most epic monster brawl that you have seen probably since Monster Squad, as I absolutely love it when every monster goes against a vampire bat. And despite Dennis becoming a vampire, he suddenly realized that his grandfather always loved him and always thought he was the most awesome little boy in the world. But of course, Bella's not happy with this, so he tries to attack until he is saved by the most unlikely of heroes.
Don't ever come near me or my family again.
Because of the specialness of Dennis, Vladimir changed his ways and decided, yep, he's special in his own way, so now I don't hate humans either. As the movie ends on a big, basically birthday party for Denisovich, and everybody is happy and that they can celebrate with family and be happy with the family that they just created. Like I said at the beginning, Hotel Transylvania 2 is by far a superior sequel. It really encapsulated everything that the first film did, but even more so. And I do love the transformation of Dracula, where at first you saw him as a monster who hated humans, to accepting them. And then in this film, he was a man that was willing to accept them, but only to a certain cost. And then he realized he didn't need to push Dennis. He didn't need to try to push Mavis out of his life. All he needed to do was show tender love and affection to his own grandson, and that changed the world. And it's really good to see that the birth of Dennis really brought in hope, a new light, and something that's especially special for everybody to enjoy, especially his own great grandpa. Vampire Grandpa! Come on! That was obvious! Anyways, Hotel Transylvania 2 is exceptionally better than the original, and it really had the best story and a great impact upon the story as well too, as we learn a very powerful message that monsters are important no matter what. As this one, definitely to me, is amazing, magical, and supreme. That's why my Funko Pop rating of Hotel Transylvania 2 is going to be a Supreme Strange, because it's awesome, impactful, magical, and in every single way, just supreme. Guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, hit that bell icon to be notified every single time I make an upload. And also let me know in the comments down below which Hotel Transylvania movie is your favorite. Is it the first, the second, the third, or the fourth? Let me know in the comments section down below. Also, while you're down there, you can follow me on Twitter with the link in the description down below. Be sure to hit that bell icon to be notified every single time I make an Lazyween video. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, share this video around the web. And next time, we are done just tiptoeing around Lazyween. We're gonna get straight into the monster stuff with a remake of a very underrated monster, but an awesome remake at that. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I've been to keep you on, and until next time, guys, as always, take care and stay spooky.